Meet this gorgeous guy though the other day. I was sitting at this table alone, and this gorgeous guy came over and he was like, "Oh, is that seat taken?" And I was like, "Oh no," and so we took it. So I decided to write a list of things you don't want to hear on a first date. Number one is, "Wow, you were hungry." Number two is, "Geez, you've made an effort. Has no one ever taken you to Nando's before?" As I waltzed in my ball gown. It's just how I imagined. So I'm at this weird stage in my life where a lot of my friends are starting to settle down, and me and my single friends are beginning to worry about it. And I think that my best friend, she summed it up the best when we were on a train on the way to a hen do, and she said, "Even the bloody toilet's engaged." And people started to ask me, like, how I imagine my wedding. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I've never really thought about it. I don't know. I mean, I imagine the dress would probably be like beaded ivory satin with an empire neckline, bodice, corset, detachable train. But I always imagine that my second wedding would be a quarter affair. Because we'll both be emotionally burnt. And, like, a lot of women, like, we get a lot of, like, hassle from builders. Like, they shout all sorts of stuff like, "Oi, love, get your tits out," and, like, filth like that. I don't get that from builders, though. I get a, "Oi, love, move! You're standing in wet cement. You're going to get out of this road, you'll have a feature of it." Yeah, so I always feel bad for a man when he ends up back at my place, because my room's a complete mess, and I always have random objects living in my bed. The worst thing that a man ever found in my bed was a high-visibility jacket. I mean, God knows what kind of kinky sex he thought I was into. Like dangerous, late-night, visible motorway sex. But I'm not turned on by danger, I'm aroused by safety. Buckle up. Yeah, and I've always worried about falling in love because I've always thought that part of the excitement of leaving the house is that you might meet the love of your life. And I think that's why a lot of couples usually stay in, because they're terrified of the other one finding it. But no, I have a boyfriend now, and he's my first proper boyfriend, and I really love him. But I have started to fantasize about his death. Came from a really innocent place. I was just really worried that something might happen to him. And then I started to think about how that might work to my advantage. Because if he died, I'd probably get loads of time off work. And people started to ask us, we're going to move in together. And I'm like, I don't know if he's still alive. And I was really worried for quite a long time that he might cheat on me. As I spoke to some friends about it, and they were like, "Look, Harriet, if you're in a relationship, you talk about these things, and that solves the problem." And it did, because it turned out he was worried about the same thing. He was worried that he might cheat on me as well. And I've been thinking, like, I really want men and women to be equal. Like, I really want us to be equal at work and that we get paid the same. And I really want us to be equal in the bathroom and that we have separate bathrooms really far apart. But I don't want us to be equal on a ship. Because I want my bags to be carried onto it and I want to be able to get off first. Ideally, even before the children. Because I can have more children. Children can't do that. Yeah, so me and my boyfriend, we play these games to really try to annoy each other. And the other day, he held me down on my bed and played my morning alarm ringtone in my ears for 7 minutes. But I think I'm good in the long run, because I stopped taking the pill. I don't want children, I really hate to lose. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a lovely evening. Goodbye.